And I wonder if you could just explain, I know it's a huge range of subjects, I mean, geopolitics, conflict, insecurity. How does all that intersect with climate?
Well, a really great example of how our security in the UK intersects with climate is our food security. We import about two-fifths of the food that we consume in the UK. Things that we rely on being able to find on our supermarket shelves on a day-to-day basis, things like tea, coffee, sugar, rice, bananas, other fresh fruits. These are grown in parts of the world that are becoming increasingly vulnerable to worsening climate impacts, to extremes of rainfall, to extremes of heat, of droughts. And at the same time that is happening, because there's always a bit of an instinct in the UK to say, well, let's just, plant more here, let's grow more here. But at the same time that is happening in various parts of the world that grow the food that we rely on, we've also just had the wettest winter on record, and that's affected crops here. So, in a very tangible way, climate impacts in various parts of the world, including here in the UK, are threatening our food security. In the short term, they're creating shortages and they're driving up food prices. But in the long term, there will be parts of the world where it becomes almost impossible to grow food at all, which of course affects people in the area much more directly, people who rely on that for their food, people who rely on that for their livelihoods. But it also affects our security and it affects global stability if global food supply chains are disrupted. So, the solution to that is cutting emissions rapidly to prevent ever worsening climate impacts, but also providing climate finance from very wealthy countries to those poorer developing countries, mostly in the global south, who need that to adapt to the temperatures and impacts that we already see.
Gareth, thank you very much for your thoughts. That's Gareth Redmond-King, who's the head of the international programme, the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit. Thank you.